How's it? Welcome to my Minecraft Let's Play Survival series. We are going to have a lot of fun with this one. So we'll start with having a look at the building over there. You'll notice I've used diorite. Also, this pathway's had a few little spots of interest placed along the way. But back to the building, I've used diorite for the first time as a building block, and I really like the way it offsets the lanterns over there. And I've put some double high flowers, different ones at each entrance. I've also added this decking area, which I like. Only thing I'm not too sure about is this long straight line. Not too sure. But the sunflowers obviously go here because this is the way they face. We've got balconies on each level. All the windows have been lowered. Jeez, man, that took an age to do. There's architraving in now on all the floors and windowsills. And I'm loving this place, really. I'm surprising myself by building it. And the first thing I want to do is the subject of today's episode is filling the space with a little bit of a curiosity. And that's going to be a record collection. I've got a really fun idea of, getting a record farm. But while we're here, let's have a look at the stairwell. I managed to get rid of all the torches, and everywhere where there isn't a slab, and the light level is 8 or below, I've put a red carpet to make a feature out of it. And also in between each floor, there's these row of sea lanterns hidden behind these trapdoors. So because it's a spiral staircase, sometimes the lighting's high, sometimes it's in the middle, and sometimes it's at the bottom. But you hardly notice them, even though they're bright red. And while we're here, let's have a quick step onto one of the balconies. And that's pretty much everything done. So we've obviously got to fill all of these spaces, and there's a really great space for chandeliers, maybe hanging off that block there, to light up these spaces. And to solve the problem of the doors and these big spaces on each side, I've used an idea that I used over at the storage area, which we'll look at next. But the idea that these are shutters, that they slide up and down. Okay, so that's all the upgrades for the building. What I want to show you next is the, you can see the decking from up here. Oh yeah, this is cool. Let me show you this quickly. Over here is a sculpture. See, I wanted to make this pathway wind. So I've got, there's got to be reasons why the pathway goes from one side, sways from one side to the other. So over here, it's going to avoid this bush over here and wind towards this way. There's no reason for it to go over here, so I think I'm going to build a little rock formation over here and then swing around underneath this tree. See how cool it is? You just add a few of these hanging leaf blocks over here to one of the big trees, and it just really transforms it. And then you just dot those lanterns every now and then. And this bit over here is a sculpture. So because of today's COVID world, everybody's isolating and staying away from each other. I thought the sculpture of two people giving each other a hug and a kiss is quite appropriate. So a little bit of art for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. But yeah, this is a bit straight here. I don't know, maybe I should put something else over here. But I'm using the space because I'm weird that way. And there's a little endermite I've trapped in a boat. I just wanted to see what would happen if we can catch an enderman as well. But not been very successful with that. But man, I'm loving this building. So first thing before we go and work on the record farm, let's just walk along the path again and go to the storage area. Now I've decided against putting a roof on because normally I'll fly there and it's just nice to be able to drop in. So I've put a bit of grass and flowers across the top like I said I would. And instead of having a regimented... Oh, can you hear those creepers? It's mad. So instead of having a regimented storage area, it's a bit ad hoc. So over here we have chests if we need them. We have stone products over here with, represented by these blocks that have been made from stone. The actual stone is stored over here, and you can just add to it whenever you need to. And guess where the grass blocks are stored? And the dirt blocks. And there's a little freezer set up over here, so all the ice and snow and stuff is over there. A little bulk storage because I've got so many arrows from the skeleton farm. Likewise paper. This over here is quite special. I've been seeing a lot of rainbows around. Kids have been posting pictures of rainbows to show support for healthcare workers that are helping us get through this crisis, allowing us to sleep at night. Knowing that if we do get ill, that we're going to get looked after. So in a little tribute to them, I've decided that using these columns over here, I want to create a glass rainbow. So there's two sections. So we'll get the colors to go from one end to the other of this section, and then do the same on the other side. Okay, and for that we're going to need lots of sand and lots of glass, and this is where the sand pit is, and the gravel pit over there. While we're here, let's just grab one, because we're going to need to smelt some sand to get glass. So this is where the kelp blocks end up, and I've moved the sugarcane, to get delivered here, and all that creeper poop starting to come in over here. So I turned it back on just to fill up the boxes. And because I decided not to have the roof, I put up a little storage area over there. There's nothing in the boxes yet, but it's just a space available, and there's more space in these barrels over here. Don't you like this little idea of having pretend that twists and turns and lowers and raises the shutter, so it's like a double secure place. And I've also done the double high drop trick over here to stop the any creepers or whatever following me in. Okay, so those are all the updates. Now for the fun part. So let's grab, we're going to need an iron golem for this, a volunteer. This way, my man. And we are going to create a temporary structure because it's a record farm. We're only going to need to complete the collection, right? We're not going to need it to be there permanently. So I've worked out that if we get an iron golem to stand in there on honey blocks, and I've done a bit of testing, we'll come back to this dude in a sec, don't go anywhere. And if we get a skeleton to stand on this block, and if we get creepers to spawn in this space and run away from our two new cats over there that we can put round about here, maybe we can get the skeleton to shoot at the iron golem, miss the iron golem, and shoot the creepers instead, and that way we can get our record collection. So that's the idea. So stage one, we got to get a skeleton in the spot. Now there are probably a million different ways to catch a skeleton, but this is how I do it. Okay, so the first thing I do is actually let's put this guy where he needs to be so he doesn't wander off while we're building. Cool. Yeah. First time I did this, I did try and jump out, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so he's not going anywhere. So let's build a little containment area for the skeleton first. Okay, so I do it like this. Okay, and you put a trapdoor over here. That way we can control when the skeleton can and can't see the iron golem over there, okay? And the skeleton won't be able to move past this point here, but we'll be able to come in and out. That's the idea. Okay, so now we've got to create a little passageway, and then I'll just create a quick room over here where they can spawn, and you'll see what I mean. Very good, little something like this. And the reason I'm using netherrack, by the way, it's just very, very easy to break up once you're done, and this is only a temporary structure. Okay, so we've got our little spawn place over there. Let's kick out the light and block that up, and we just need to go away from the area a little bit and come back again, and it should be fine. So I'll just take a quick fly around. Actually, let me show you this quickly while we wait. Just quickly, I've added this little honey spill here. Try and jump over it. And I've replaced two of the dispensers over there with shears. So we're getting honeycomb as well. I've got a little idea I want to do over here in this area. Very, very cool. Everything's developing nicely. I love it. Look how much honey blocks we got. Yo, I mean how many honey blocks. Very cool. Okay, let's see if we've got a skeleton yet. Oh, I can hear bones rattle. Okay, now we might have more than one, and we just don't want them to shoot each other. Harold, come on. There we go. We'll take one. Whoop. There we go. Simple as that. Okay, now we don't want him to run away, so we've got to give him a name, and this is what I've decided to call him. William Tell, and then that makes this one Walter. There you go, Walter. Okay, so we've got our skeleton. Can't believe that was so easy. Cool. So I'm going to get rid of all of this, and then we can start with stage 2. Can you balance this apple on your head? Didn't think so. Save it for later, bro. Okay, we'll give the skeleton something to aim for. To aim at, really. In line with the William Tell story, so we'll just put the apple over there. Okay, now if we open that flap, that skeleton is going to shoot the iron golem, but we don't want him to kill the iron golem, right? So we've got to protect him. So if we put a row over here of netherrack, and according to my experimentations, you put 3 snow layers on each one over here. And what I had to do in my testing is I had to push this guy forward. So let's put a water bucket there. That should push him to the front over there. And then lastly, we have to put a row over here, you see, because the skeleton, if he stands here, he might just be able to get the iron golem. You see, the arc of the trajectory of the arrow will arc all the way up there and just get that very, very teeny tiny gap that you can see the iron golem's eyes, you see. So if we put this over here, there's going to be a ceiling anyway. I can demonstrate. Okay, so William Tell is still going for the apple, and what I'm hoping to see is a constant volley of arrows. There you go, there's the first one. You should never be able to hit the golem, and he just hits the golem. Oh dear. Okay, well, I'm going to finish doing the design. Going to put a place for the creepers to spawn and see if I can make that a little bit safer for Walter over there. And I'll be right back. I just really have to show you this quickly. It's brilliant. It's my top tip for cat catching. Okay, get your cat mobile, and you put a chest where you want the cat to go, because they think that you don't want them to go on the chest. Isn't that brilliant? Just take the chest out, make him sit down, and boom. And that is how you wrangle a cat. Okay, just about ready to show you the final design. But before we head inside, I just want to show you how I get Walter to stand in the middle. See, there's the honey blocks he's on, and that's the back row of them. And I've just got this water source block here, and another one on exactly on the opposite side. So that our mate Walter over there is nicely in the middle. Okay, let's go inside. I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so there's the skeleton over there, and I had to cut out these trapdoors on the ceiling, because as you know, this is how you get creepers to spawn, only creepers to spawn, is by putting trapdoors on the ceiling, because zombies and skeletons obviously are too tall. It would be a disaster if there were any skeletons spawning in here. So yeah, I had to cut these out though, otherwise William Tell over there couldn't tell that his son was over there, that Walter's over there, couldn't see him. And as for the carpets, well, okay, as you know, this would stop all mobs from spawning except for creepers and spiders, okay? So we need to stop the spiders, we need to make sure there aren't any 3x3 spaces like this open. So I could put a carpet over there to take care of this 3x3 space, but my worry is that the creeper will spawn here, try to run away from the cat, and get stuck. Okay, and then there's also this 3x3 space. Same thing, if you put the carpet here, for example, and you know, the creeper might do the same thing and he'll get stuck over here. So I found, if I put this like so, wherever the creeper spawns, he sees the cat sees him and he runs, he's always going to end up in the water over here. Well, that's the theory anyway. I don't think anything can spawn on these hoppers. I think we're good there. Okay, so the creepers all end up in here. So there's not very many spawning spaces, but because only creepers can spawn, and it'll be daytime everywhere else, so there's it's a pretty good chance we'll get a lot of them. And then because there'll be a lot of them, they'll all be pushed to this corner over here, and the more they are, the more they get pushed and pushed and pushed into the line of fire. Then they'll start getting mad at that skeleton, but because of these blocks here, they can't get to him, and should just stand here and get shot, and then the records, hopefully, and gunpowder will fall into there. And if I can get out and fall in here. Okay, so that's the plan, and I think it's a good one. Okay, not the most efficient thing, but it was fun working it out. Again, that's what I love about Minecraft. You have an idea, and then you've got to make it work, and there's so many little things that make it work properly, and it's nice to find those out, and that's how you grow. So let's get me out. Okay, let's cover that up, switch it on. Let's just make sure he's shooting. Come on. There we go, I heard it. Phew, I was worried there for a second. Okay, he is shooting, that's fine. So now all we've got to do is give them some space. Okay, so I'm going to go hang out over here. Do some housework maybe. And I'll see you in half an hour. I'll go there and check in half an hour and see if we've made any records. Okay, see you in a bit. Uh-oh, that sound wasn't good. Probably about 5 seconds too long. Let's go and assess the damage. Oh dear. I think I'll wait. And there's a spider there. That's weird. Oh, there's some records though. Oh, interesting, interesting. Okay, sorry, I'm just worried that there's any creepers out there. Ah! Oh dear. Eesh. Whew. Let me just count and see what records I do have. I'll be right back. Uh-oh. No! I told you that would be fun. Now I've set it up again, more or less the same as it is before, except we have, see, only this bit was blown up. We have William Tell II over there. Hey, bit rude. And I've made this a bit smaller by 1 block so that the creepers can only get this close. Maybe 3 blocks is too close, I don't know. So, but we definitely got records. So while we let this go for a second turn, let's have a quick look what records we got. Nice. More, far, more again. Oh, that's a duplicate. Let's put the ones duplicates again. But we need to have 12 in all. There are 9, 10, 11, and there's a few, like I say, a few duplicates. Style. Okay. Wait. So a bit of a bittersweet symphony, I'd say. So let's try it again and see if we can get some more. Alrighty. No boom this time. I'd say that's progress. I can hear him shooting still. Excellent. Yo! More discs. Yo! This is brilliant. Okay, looks like that extra block in the way is a good idea. Oh, fantastic. Okay, let's tally this up and see how much we got. Okay, now that is what's left over, right? Because right here in this box, We have one of every single one. I'm so pleased. I didn't expect it to work that well, seriously. That's amazing. I don't know what to do with those. But for those of you who are curious, have a look in here. Hello. And there's more. Brilliant. Let's just switch that back on. Hey, this has given me a really good idea for something I want to try later on in the season, but more about that later. Ladies and gentlemen, to play us out for today's episode, I'd like to introduce you to Diamond Dave's Dragon Disco. Now, ideally, I'd like to have a creeper head there, you know, to finish the story of William Tell and Walter. And we'll always remember how we got our record collection. And this is the one we've selected. And that's been brilliant. Oh yeah, he's got a nice little laptop behind here, so he can choose his tunes, scratch his discs. I'm glad I said that correctly. And all his records over there. Okay, so let's put that in. And all that's left for me to do is to say thanks very much for joining me. You've been brilliant. I've been Jubs. Have a good one.